How do you know it won't fight back? Outcast! You came from nothing. You will die a nothing.
Hello again everybody, what is up? It is Ghost here and I am back here with Oscar, yes, just the two of us for another video, the second video of today. Yes, we have uploaded not only
really,
once, but twice in one day after
we
a
don't
period
upload for like 2 weeks and then
yes.
like, oh yeah, let's just go make 2 videos in the same day. But anyway,
exactly.
That is what we're doing. Go
well,
on,
that is what conditions are requesting for today, because we have finally gotten more news on the very highly anticipated game that is Horizon Zero Dawn. Yes, today we got a new trailer for the game that's released a lot of new gameplay for it, so there's obviously a lot there that we can talk about and analyze, but more interestingly perhaps, we have also been finally shown right towards the end of the trailer the official release dates of the game, and as we expected, or at least as the rumors suggested, the game is delayed and will now be coming out in February next year as opposed to later on this year. Oscar and I will probably discuss that towards the end of the video. For now, I guess we'll just discuss what actually happened in the trailer, so go ahead, Oscar, and talk about what was in the trailer, and hopefully you can speak this time.
Yeah, sorry, I just tried to record this video and I couldn't speak, so let's try it again. But yeah, basically in the past few trailers that we've actually only had 2 trailers so far. Both of them have been very similar gameplay demos. One was at E3 last year, I think, and the other one was at was it Paris Games Week? That's when it was. There was 2 of them.
Yeah, probably, or PSX, one or the other.
Yeah, they were both basically trailers showing off the gameplay mechanics, taking down a massive, like, dinosaur, like, fucking 20-foot dinosaur. It looked epic, and of course, they were very, very well received. However, we haven't really seen much about the actual main character, and that is what this trailer appears to be doing. It's called Aloy's Journey trailer, and it's about the main character, of course, who is Aloy, and... yeah, surprisingly. But basically, it kind of shows her origin story, which is definitely something that I think a lot of people will be interested in, because she seemed like a very interesting character. One of the things it did show around the 40-second mark was her as a child. And they kept referencing something like she was.
They kept saying that she was an outcast.
Outcast, that was it. And it was like she was like, not part of this tribe or something. She's not. It's really, really odd and different to see how it actually is.
It was all very unclear, wasn't it? Like, because they kept saying you're an outcast, and she kept saying, and nothing's going to get in my way in what I want to do. But there wasn't any hints at all about what she was on about in the whole thing, which I guess is not a bad thing at this stage when it's still like a year before the game comes out. You know, it's probably not a bad thing that we don't know much about it. But at the same time, it did seem to me a little bit too vague, because with it being Guerrilla Games, the thing you think about with Guerrilla Games is the graphics, and possibly also the gameplay, as opposed to like incredible storytelling. So with the story being this vague as it stands, and with us not knowing a lot about it, to me, I'd like to know a little bit more about it, although of course we'll probably get that in the future, because that's the part of the game I'm most concerned about, and the one I think will probably be the worst aspect of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say from this trailer alone, because what the trailer does actually very well is explain who she is in that way, but not too much that it's going to be getting into spoiler regions. But also, as Juan was saying, it could be a little bit vague, and we're not quite sure which kind of side it's going to fall on. One thing I do want to point out, and as Juan has said before as well, the graphics, the variety in the environments, and just overall the scope and scale of this game looks incredible. Like, it's linear, of course, I think, anyway, or is it going to be linear open world almost? I'm not quite sure what they've actually said about that.
I think they're going for open worlds, but obviously it's, again, Guerrilla Games' first proper open world game, so you can't really judge what it's going to be like so far. Although with it all looking that good, I can't imagine it's going to be anything like great scale-wise. I imagine it'll be... the graphics look incredible, but as a result, the map size perhaps may be a little bit sacrificed.
Yeah, of course, it runs at 1080p 30, by the way, as well. That's one thing I do want to mention. I think I think they confirmed that, or at least the gameplay has shown that anyway. One thing I do want to point out as well from the trailer, there were these kind of odd characters who look like humans, but they've got these kind of like weird masks on. Yeah, it's really odd. I don't know who they are, and they definitely seem to be the kind of like the antagonists of the story for sure. And at one point, literally towards the end of the trailer, it looks like one of them stabs Aloy, which is really, really interesting. And then that kind of like cuts to obviously then the logo, and then after that we see the date of the game's release, which have now changed to February 28th, 2017, which, as we said before, like, we kind of expected this, considering all the rumours that were coming off before this before this trailer, and yeah, it was kind of obvious, really. I mean, the game looked like it was going to potentially come out in 2016, that was the idea anyway, but by the looks of it, it's been pushed back, but that's only a good thing. I mean, delays are only ever good things, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing this before the video, and we think for two main reasons, probably a good thing. One, obviously the obvious one, that is the same with any delay. A delay usually means that the developers are spending more time on the game to perfect it rather than releasing it in an unfinished state. I mean, we don't want to see another few examples of that. I mean, Battlefield 4 springs to mind, and Star Wars Battlefront probably also springs to mind. You know, a few EA games spring to mind when you mention unfinished games and that sort of stuff. Hopefully that is one of the reasons they're doing this, but I think also it may be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, this delay, because even though, again, so many people are looking forward to playing this game this year, and it was in many people's most anticipated games of this year, it was in mine personally also, I think it may be a blessing in disguise in the way that it would have released in the autumn of this year, or in the latter stages of this year, where there would have been many other games releasing at the same time, and with it being a new IP also, perhaps it needs a little bit more space, you know, to be released at a time where there's not many other games releasing, so perhaps people pay more attention to it, with it being a new IP and needing a little bit more
just even from like a Sony perspective as well.
Yeah,
like, they've
also
got
that,
GT Sport coming out this year, which is a massive franchise, obviously Gran Turismo, and they've also got The Last Guardian expected to be coming out this year as well. So that's two massive Sony franchises which are going to be potentially coming out in the fall of 2016 of course as well. So that could actually kill off Horizon as well. So it's a very good option, I think, maybe to delay this game, both economically, tactically, and of course to make the game a much better game overall.
It's a shame that we'll have to wait for it, as is the case with any delay. You know, whenever you hear about delay, your initial reaction is the disappointment for waiting for it, but as is usual with our attitude towards these delays, I think it's probably good in the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all we can say on this trailer, of course. Go watch it yourself. We probably had a link in the description for it as well, and we probably had a little bit at the beginning as well. Let us know your thoughts on the trailer, of course. Are you actually hyped for Horizon? A lot of people seem to be hyped for this game as well. It's kind of like getting to No Man's Sky levels at the moment. Lots of people are saying on Twitter how amazing it looks and how it could be like one of their most anticipated games for 2017, even though we've not really seen much from 2017 yet. But yeah, let's go. Kind of let us know your thoughts on that trailer, of course, and of course the game itself. Like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and bye.
Bye.